Hello everyone, this is my third video for the Rear Zones blog. Apologies for the noise, I'm just downstairs in the lobby area, so you might hear a bit of interference now and again. So I'm just going to be giving you an update of where I visited today and what I found. So it's been an incredibly hot day in Rio de Janeiro. It's been between 30 and 36 degrees all day, and I've been down by the port for the majority of it, so that's why my hair's a bit matted. And I look a little bit sunburned. But I started the day, I headed from the hotel through to the Museum of Modern Art, which is situated in Gloria. So I was hoping to speak to a senior representative from the museum to get their perspective on how the Olympic Games had impacted them as an organisation, potentially visitor numbers, and how it altered space nearby. This is important as, although it's not located in Porto Maravilha, it's nearby the Gloria harbour, which as you have seen on previous tweets using the Rio Zones hashtag, I've sort of illustrated what's housed there, which is luxurious yachts, luxurious and expensive yachts, and it provides as a different picture to the rest of the port. So I headed from the Museum of Modern Art through to the Porto Maravilha districts, going past the Naval Museum, but also before I hit the Museum of Tomorrow, I saw a few boat cruises going on, which hadn't happened in previous days, which was a good sight to see. Although there weren't massive numbers going on these cruises, they were mostly made up of domestic tourists, Portuguese and Spanish speaking, but it was just interesting to see whether these were connected to the rest of the sites, and there didn't really seem to be any integration between these cruises and the museums further on down. So when I hit the Museum of Tomorrow and the space around there, I was able to have a look around, and it seemed more animated today. It seemed busier. The museum was open today, which would probably explain that. But it certainly felt that there's more activities going on there. So there was a musician, a drummer performing right in the centre of the area, and there was also a few Star Wars characters at the site. So there was a stormtrooper who was taking pictures and videos with children and adults. But it did seem that the visitors that were queuing up to get entry to the museum were seemingly being barricaded by the small traders there, particularly the food and drink traders, trying to sell their products to their visitors. And there wasn't really any barriers to stop them from doing so. So they were very much freely trading with the visitors there. However, the tourists looking to go into the museum didn't really have a choice on whether the traders were to be there or not. So it was a very weird situation to be in. After I had a look around there, I went to have a look at the Rio Museum of Art, just to try and get their perspective of how the Olympic Games had impacted them, and to look at the types of visitors gaining entry to the museum, and whether and how many visitors were going into the museum as well. So I headed from the Rio Museum of Art down past some of the sites that I'd visited previously, past some redundant warehouses, and past the aquarium, Aqua Rio. So I ventured a bit further on down, right to the end of the port area, just to see what was going on, the types of organisations that were there, if there were any, and to have a look at some of the space and planning issues, really. So I went down, further on down. There weren't many warehouses that were open. The majority were closed. There were a couple with a few businesses in, but mostly that they were empty. Again, there were empty storerooms, empty warehouses, running right to the end of the port area. So I took some pictures of the buildings, and again some paintings and murals that I will post on Twitter and post on the blog entry for today. But it was just very interesting to have a look at the landscape and to see the competition and how buildings were competing against one another. So you were seeing the large corporate buildings, the new modern skyscrapers, with the derelict, old and run-down buildings right next door to one another. So there was very much, it was very much a contradiction in terms of the types of organisations and how it was mixed up. And you can see that right across Porto Maravilha. You'll see enormous skyscrapers next to redundant buildings, and it really illustrates some of the inequality and wealth issues just in this small area of Rio de Janeiro. So I headed right to the end of the port area, took some more pictures, and came back on down. I went past the Museum of Tomorrow to have a look at the other parts of the port and just to get a picture of what it's like down there, the types of businesses. So heading further on down, past the Museum of Tomorrow, past the Naval Museum, I was able to get a very different picture of, there were more businesses located down there. There seemed to be more ships docking in and out of the ports. However, there didn't really seem to be many tourists around. There seemed to be more organisations, more small businesses, small food traders again as you venture past the metro station. And I went further on down past the I think it's the Brazilian National Museum, right to the very end of the port, just to get an idea. And although there were businesses stretching right down to the airport, there weren't many organisations there, and the spaces, there were some green spaces around, but there wasn't really a lot going on down there. So after that point, I headed to the Central District to go and have a look around downtown Rio, to get an idea of the types of institutions that are situated within there and some of the museums, and to get a feeling of what it's like down in those areas as well. And then after that point, I walked back to the hotel and came back and got something to eat. So tomorrow I'm going to be going to a favela again, joining up again with Nikki. So hopefully we'll be doing a video together tomorrow. But you can keep updated using the Twitter hashtag RioZones and on the blog as well. So I'll be posting a new entry tomorrow. But if you've got any thoughts during that time, then please do send them through to the blog or through to the Twitter handle RioZones, and I'll get back to you.